I'm going to take this opportunity right here and now to formally announce my intention.
Some say Al Gore can't catch a break. Michael Feldman is a former aide to Al Gore and is also a Democratic strategist, and Ron Christie is a Republican strategist and former aide to President Bush and Vice President Cheney. Welcome to both of you. Well, that was great of the Vice President up there, and that was a great little skit. But any indication that he has any plans to run?
I don't see it, Nora. I mean, what he said publicly and privately, for that matter, is the same thing. He is waging a campaign right now, but it's a campaign about global warming. It's an issue that he's been trying to talk about for 30 years. Looks to me like people are paying attention to him, and he has an ability to affect change on that issue, and that's a really good thing. So I don't see it.
Ron, Donna Brazile, of course, is quoted in one of the papers today as saying Al Gore could still get in. He could wait for a while. He could sort of ride this sort of fame out. He's got a lot of big appearances. He's got a new book coming out, of course, the Nobel Prize, and then come in late and raise money quickly.
I think Donna's absolutely right. I talked to her about this the other week, and she said, you know, if Al Gore gets this Oscar, the field's still wide open. The field is still pretty much anyone's to win in the Democratic side. I agree with Mike, though. I just don't see that he has the fire and the belly to get out there and run for president again.
We have to take a look at George Clooney last night, who also made a little bit of a joke about whether he thinks Gore is going to run. Take a listen.
I was just backstage with Jack Nicholson and Vice President Gore drinking. I don't think he's running for president. My apologies.
Well, Gore clearly had a good time last night, but he's also pretty much told people, and I understand he did backstage, I'm not planning on running. So what's all this speculation about? Is it because people like you who are involved in Inconvenient Truth are just trying to sell more of these DVDs and his upcoming book, etc.?
First of all, Ron and I were downstairs having a drink before this.
Exactly. So, that's okay. But we're still here. That's an Inconvenient Truth, too.
Just to be clear about it.
Full disclosure.
Look, I mean, you do see a campaign going on. It's not, there is a campaign. The campaign is about an issue, and I understand why that looks and feels like another kind of campaign.
But is it because even though Al Gore, I mean, this is great. You know, all of Hollywood and all their glitz and glamour loves Al Gore at a moment like this. They think he has brought up an issue that has not been addressed in 30 years, etc. And quite frankly, running for president is not a fun sport to be engaged in, and he realizes that against Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, he probably wouldn't have a shot.
That was a good try.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think he's making that calculation now, and certainly Al Gore knows better than most people in the public eye the rough and tumble of a presidential campaign. But look, he's in a very unique place right now. The guy has a very unique place in history. He actually won the popular vote. He's been right a lot in the last 6 years about a lot of issues, with all due respect.
I was going to say, you knew I was going to take exception to that, of course.
What I think is really interesting, Ron, is now you have some of the Republicans running for president, essentially embracing global warming. The president called it global climate change in the State of the Union address. Senator John McCain has even sort of embraced this. So he's changed the debate on both sides of the aisle.
Well, I think there are a lot of people who recognize that global warming is a top issue of concern for a lot of folks. Now, John McCain, I would say, however, I don't necessarily
agree. And certainly
agree.
not with the business community, perhaps.
Absolutely. And, you know, one of the things that I take exception with the former vice president is whether or not, in fact, that these catastrophes that he envisions on the horizon will actually come to bear. But the truth of the matter is a lot of people care about the environment. A lot of people care about global climate change. And Al Gore, for better or worse right now, this is his moment in the sun.
And I would say he's not alone there. I mean, what you see now is people on both sides of the aisle taking on this issue because it is becoming more important. I think one of the things that the former vice president wanted to do was raise the salience of the issue so that people in both parties would talk about it, and he's doing that. And you also see the business community. They used to be inconsistent. They're not anymore. The business community realizes they need to have a sustainable model to survive and do well.
Including our parent company, General Electric.
Been a leader on the issue. They've been a leader on this issue.
Do I get points for that?
Yes. E for effort, Nora.
Mr. Emmett.
Great to have you guys, Michael Feldman and Ron Christie. I think you're coming back later in the hour.
Thanks.